Hola Bandidos, ¿cómo estamos? Welcome to Mel's Magic. I'm Magic Mel, and this is Owl, my spirit guide, and this is definitely episode 5 of season 5. Welcome. Okay, in this episode, I wanted to continue my reflections on yin and yang. Just like any polarity, yin and yang, the masculine and the feminine, even spirit and matter exist in a continuum. That's why the symbol of the sphere is so adequate here. I want to quote W.E. Butler, who said, "There is no eternal enmity between spirit and matter. There are just two poles of manifest existence, and it is in the balanced use of both spiritual and material principles that the way of progress lies." I guess what I want to highlight is that neither is above the other in terms of value. Daytime is not more important than nighttime. Pain and suffering in that way is not more important than our times of joy and happiness. They are simply the counterpart to each other. And they are interdependent counterparts, meaning the one only exists because the other exists. In the transcendence of both principles, that's actually where the mystery of life lies. In Japanese, and the Japanese I think took it from the Chinese, there is something called ma, and I will show the symbol here. Ma is the emptiness, full of possibilities, like a promise yet to be fulfilled, is what Yukiko Kizak describes the notion of ma. Ma can also be described as the void, or the point zero, or the shunya space. Donna Kering, in her blog, describes Ma as the essential void or emptiness in space. Ma reminds us of infinite possibilities, the space and time in which we experience life itself. Ma speaks of silence versus sound. Is the stillness versus noise. In the space between, the soul can breathe and the mystery of life emerges. What has Ma got to do with the feminine or the masculine principle? Well, the feminine is often seen as the yielding, the space out of which action emanates. You know, and Alan Watts gave this little story that is well known of the astronaut who goes out into space and comes back and everyone asks him, "So, did you meet God?" "Yes, I did." And everyone asked, "And? What is he like?" And the astronaut says, "She is black." So the reason I'm bringing this up in relation to the reflections of yin and yang is because there is a widespread notion of this male figure as God. But if we appreciate what Sadhguru said, the universe is made out of 99 black space. And even the astronaut came back and said, God, she is black. Then it reminds us of this feminine principle. And it has just as much to do with the Chinese-Japanese concept of ma, of space. What is the object without the space that it's in? The 0 point, which in itself has no value, but holds all values, is complete and actually adds value if we add it to another number. It has to do with the feminine principle, the mystery, the foundation, the background of things, the space that holds everything else. And maybe we don't perceive it as much because the objects or the action, the yang, is more visible, is more in the foreground. It doesn't mean the background is not as important because it actually is the foundation for the foreground, the foundation for the action. If we take again a musical piece, it's the silence that highlights the notes. It's often in a conversation the pauses that give depth and gravity to the words spoken. Or take a book, the printed words on each page are held by the page itself. We get to appreciate this concept or notion of ma in Japanese painting, and I'll show a few here. So in these examples, the positive, i.e. the brushstroke, the painted element, is just as important as the space around it. And this is called notan in Japanese. If you look at these images, we get a sense of how light and dark interacts and holds each other in tension. And to be intentional about this, the spaciousness, the stillness, the silence, for what it gives rise to, that is the feminine principle of the womb, the dark womb from which everything emanates. We take it back to something concrete in our own lives. It's our own energetic rhythms, our own body's needs for rest. It's when we allow ourselves this time of going inwards that we will become more intentional with our actions. I was very much in my young. Action, action, action. And I got lost in the action. I got lost in the achievement, in the doing, in the exhausting myself, in going beyond my own limits. The masculine and the feminine principle are necessary for our own internal balance. And are we respecting those aspects? Are we respecting the feminine, the ephemeral, the creative, the soft, the vulnerable? Are we even able to protect those parts of us? Those are all reflections I want to share. If the feminine is silence, are we creating enough space to be in silence? Or are we scared of silence? And if so, why? What are we scared to find if we no longer distract ourselves and go within? I'd like to show 2 tarot cards I've been meditating on this week on the same topic. Let's start with this one. It's a new deck I got, the Spirit of the Tower, beautiful illustrations. It is the star. You can see here the star. If we take it back to our own lives, perhaps the darkness was necessary for us to really connect to our core, to find the essence of who we are, and to bring that to light, to express that. So in this case, again, we could talk about a polarity of pain and darkness, and the treasure blooming out of that, the star shining in that darkness. Isn't that a beautiful idea? Imagine there's a star up there that is connected to you, and that is a reflection of you. And the brighter you shine, the brighter it shines, because you are in your essence the same. There's another image here. It was actually my sketchbook. It's not exactly the yin yang, it's missing the dots, but here again we have the symbol of the sphere and a polarity going on as a continuum, black and white, neither being better than the other, both being essential to the other, as they exist in contrapunto, as counterparts, in tension with each other. Can we extend that notion also to man and woman being of equal value, just different, but complementing each other? Where one ends, the other begins. So internally, can we harmonize our own yin and yang energies? Can we connect with them? Only when we behold, when we are present enough to hold both aspects in our awareness, can we be whole and no longer separate or fragmented. It's a beautiful image to meditate on. I apply the same principle when I declutter my space. The space I create is no less valuable than the objects I put into that space. And again, I looked into Japanese architecture, it's so inspiring. They really know how to highlight the beauty of the space itself. Since today is the new moon in Scorpio in a solar eclipse, I wanted to share the one card I pulled earlier. It's a beautiful card because, again, it shows the full sphere of the moon, in this case, the blue moon. And the message is so simple but profound. Believe in the impossible. Go within. Find the shunya space, the 0 point, the point of stillness within. Attune to the moon, attune to Hanyel, the goddess of the moon, and spend some time in silence and see what she says. dare to trust and dare to have faith that in this universe of infinite possibilities, anything is possible. I think I'll leave you with that. Okay. I'm Magic Mel. My channel is Mel's Magic and this is Owl. Really happy to have you here. If you like my videos, you can hit the like button. It does really help my channel grow. And if you like, subscribe to my channel so you'll see my other videos. You can scroll through them. I've got like five seasons already. And if you feel the value of my videos and you want to give back, I have a donate button, in the description box down there. I have a PayPal link and a Ko-fi.com link. Any donation is highly appreciated. You must know that, okay? And I'm happy I was able to share the space with you, and I look forward to our next session. Attune to this beautiful new moon in Scorpio in solar eclipse and connect with the essence of the star that you are. Yeah? Ciao.